Welcome to IMD's Industry Insights. We'll be right back. Before we get started, I wanted to remind you to hit that like button. And also, if you want to subscribe to our podcast, hit that button down in the bottom right corner there, and that'll get you subscribed. We do appreciate you being here. Let's get started. Recently, Industry Insights had an opportunity to tour the Scotchman Industries plant in Phillip, South Dakota. Plant Superintendent Brad Heltzel was our guide, and we were able to speak with him before we went on the tour.
Hello, my name is Brad Heltzel. I'm the plant superintendent here at Scotchman Industries. I've been here for just going on 21 years now. My role is kind of the manufacturing, engineering, and inventory side of things. I kind of head up all those departments. We're a small town here in Phillip, South Dakota. I would say there's about 850 people roughly. Kind of a farming community. You can see if you go through town, you can see the implement dealerships and car dealerships, and we have a very nice hospital. So it's a very, very nice town to grow up in. I went to high school here. Did military service, came back and started here at Scotchman. People ask how many people we employ here. There's always, I would say, about 60 to 65. We've got a couple of outside salesmen. We've got independent reps all over the country, dealers all over the country. We manufacture hydraulic ironworkers and cold saws here at Scotchman. We've got all kinds of attachments and measuring systems and conveyors and things to go along with those machines. But that's our bread and butter is the ironworkers and the cold saws. We make 13 different models of ironworkers. We do import some saws, some upcut saws from Spain. So we have a few things that we import, but we try to make everything that we can here. We've got great people. We've got a lot of knowledge in the building. We're getting to the point we're getting a little bit older. Some of our older 65-year-olds that have been here for a long time, since the 80s. They're starting to kind of move on. So we've got people moving up into different positions. So it's kind of an exciting time right now. We're kind of going through a little bit of a change. So Art Crutch started Scotchman Industries in 1967. So we've been here ever since, and it's just evolved. He bought a patent, the Dvorak ironworker in Minnesota, and he brought that to Phillip, South Dakota. And then since the 67, they started with one model, and then they added another model, and of course it's gotten quite a bit bigger and more advanced since those days. Jerry Crutch was the president, and then Scotchman was sold to EMCO, so we have a new CEO by the name of Kevin Allen. And Kevin owned a company called Steel Max, so we've kind of combined those two companies to make SMX Industrial. So it's been a good transition so far. It's a little more hands-off, I think, probably than it used to be, but we just keep on moving forward, and things are going great so far. We do a really good job of reaching out to younger kids. Myself, I'm on a board of trustees for a technical college in Rapid City, South Dakota, so I've got a little bit of a avenue there. I've pulled some kids straight out of tech school to come work for us, welders and machinists, and a lot of it, to tell you the truth, is might be somebody's grandson or nephew, or I might see somebody at a volleyball game and think, oh, I wonder what that kid's doing, and I go up and say, hey, what are you up to nowadays? Are you looking for a job? And so a lot of it is done like that. A lot of it is I wonder what my sister's nephew's friend is up to nowadays, and we'll call them. And one of our harder jobs is probably mechanical engineers to fill. We've gotten pretty lucky. A lot of them are kids that went to high school here. They went off to college for 4 years, and they want to come back and ranch or farm. Our shop and our engineering and inventory run on a 4-day work week. So we work 4/10, so it works out really well for those guys. They can help their parents or grandparents out on the ranch. A lot of guys here are maybe part-time ranchers. So that really helps the work week for those individuals to go off and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, so we just kind of recruit. We'll have 3 different generations. We might have grandpas up here in the sales office, and his son-in-law works a machine, and his son works a machine. So we just kind of keep filling in like that quite a bit. So there's quite a few. We have quite a few husband and wives and fathers and sons that work here. So we try to, anything on these orange skids is what we take to shows. So we just leave them on the orange skids. So they're easy to transport, but we try to kind of leave one of everything back here. We'll have customers come in, or we'll do videos for people. If they might send us some different size material, things like this that, before they make a big investment, they want to see it get cut or machined. And so we can do that back here. So we always try to kind of leave a little bit of one of everything back here so we can do demos. So this is our steel warehouse. So we'll have a semi pull in these garage doors every 2 weeks, and we'll unload bar stocks. We'll 12, 24-foot sticks generally from 1/2 inch up to 2, 3, 4 inch. S7 steel, brake die, square tube, rectangle tube, angle iron, channel iron, just about anything you can think of that we need kind of starts in this area. We'll take it out according to whatever it is that we need to cut it into. Might be 4-inch pieces and it might be 4-foot pieces. So we'll load that material, we'll run it through our saws, and everything in here is counted. And it's got numbers on it, so we know the number of the material, and we know where that material goes and how much we need of each size of material for that specific job. So we'll use our overhead hoist and we'll move material into our saws. As you can see, it'll start out with this is just for blade material. Usually it'll start out with a long stick and it'll automatically feed it into whatever length we're cutting it in, 2 or 4 inches. Then from here it'll go on to the next, whether it's a weld, paint, machine system. Our orders will tell it where it needs to go next. So once he gets done with these, so we've got all our different notes and part numbers, top order numbers. If he's cutting 165, he'll put in 165. And then the next it'll go to the press, and it just kind of tells it where it goes, its next station that it belongs at. So these are an example of the flame cuts that we buy of different style of machines. So anything in our bigger style machines, our portafabs and our 50 tons, we laser our own frames. When it's over an inch, we have to buy them. So we kind of buy them in a set. Just depending on the model, sometimes we'll buy 4 at a time or 6 at a time. And then when that gets low, they just reorder. But it kind of comes with everything it needs: a tool table, a beam, upper and lower punch beam, shear beam. So they'll all kind of come as a set. And when we're ready for that style model, they'll pull it out. The parts will go to the welder, the machine center, or the press, whichever direction each part needs to go. So this is our bridge mill, Mighty Viper. This is a very big machine. We use it as kind of a rail mill a lot of times. We'll fly cut one side of a part so then it can move on to the machine center. And it'll give it a nice flat, so when it goes up against the pallet of our machine center, it's nice and flat. We can do up to, we do 10-foot rails in this machine. We've got some magnet pods back there that we'll hold on to parts for. But a lot of it, we use it for kind of a big rail mill. They're setting up a different jig to hold on to some of these longer tubes and things back here that we'll use for our auto loader saws. This machine holds 40 tools, so we'll use a big 8-inch face mill, but it'll also drill, mill, tap, whatever else you need it to do. These are our presses. We've been making them for a couple of years now. We have a 66-ton, a 110 standard, a 110 wide, a 176, and a 176 movable table. So all these are just a basic that are getting ready. As an order comes in, then we'll go ahead and assemble them. We'll put the power units and the cylinders and the stickers and all that on. But it's just easier. We don't like to set up one thing at a time, so we'll usually make 3 at a time. Otherwise, tomorrow another one could get sold, and then we have to set everything back up and remake it. So these are just sitting here ready to be sold and assembled. Then they'll go out the door from here. Machine system, that's just what MS stands for. Well, up on top you can see where it's changing the tool out right there. It holds 78 different tools. We use this one primarily to do our big machines. You can see our tool chain up on the top of the machine rotating around. So we'll do our bigger machines, anything 65 ton or bigger. This is where we do those sets at. So inside the machine, right now he's doing 65 tons. So it'll be a front frame and a rear frame. He'll put his cylinder brackets, his tool table, all these
parts go with that same machine. So we kind of make one of everything that machine needs to be able to weld it into a finished ironwork. And it's a four-station pallet system, so these pallets will rotate around. So once those frames are done, it'll go back out, hook it up, pull it in, rotate. This tombstone will go in and start working, and my operator will come back and he'll start deburring the part, check all the holes, and then he'll hoist them off and he'll put new ones back up, the new raw machines back up there. These are 65 tons. This is kind of what they look like in the raw form. So we'll take those frame cuts, we'll press them flat. This side of the frame will go weld a stab onto it, and then it'll come down and go into the machine. So we always do a front and a rear together. This is a different model that he just got done. This is our XL120, but you can kind of see they're basically the same. That one's this one's a little bit bigger than the 65 ton. But you can see the different parts that go with each set to get welded together. Once it's kind of machined, drilled, milled, tapped, they'll go in a pair, and from here they'll go over our welding. These two Mazak 6800s each hold 160 tools. We have 28 pallets on the Paletech system, and this machine will run unattended at night. So we run from 5 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. and then my operators will load as many pallets as they can about 2:30 in the afternoon, so that when we leave here and I shut the lights off, that machine keeps going and going. And it has a tool detection probe, so if we break a drill or something, that machine will stop for the night. Doesn't happen very often. It usually makes it through the night run, so it's just an advantage for us. So in the morning, they've got parts already off the machine. They can unload, send it back in, and the machine just keeps working and working and working. But right now, they're making our portafab machines. So we make our 3 smaller styles over here. Wish we could do it all, but you just don't have the size and the capability to do the bigger ones over here, but it's so much faster. But these are our portafab machines. It's the same. We make a front and rear at the same time, so everything kind of stays as a pair. Our 50 turrets are getting ready to go. That's what the raw ones are over on that side. So you can see kind of back behind there, the robot's picking up a pallet. He's going to head this way. And he's going to go right into this machine. 2 operators that run 4 load stations on this 28 Paletech system, and it'll run all day long. Both machines are identical. They have some different tooling, so some pallets can go in either machine, and some can only go in one because we only have that one style of tool for it. But these guys they'll unload raw parts or finished parts. We'll put them in a cart that'll go down to our tumbler and be deburred, and then they'll just take raw parts and load them back up, send it back in the robot. So there's inside the machine right now, there's 2 pallets. There's one inside and there's one in the doghouse. So once that one's done inside, it'll rotate around, the robot will come back, pick it up, and if they've got pallets at the load stations, it'll go put that pallet on its home station, and then once they send one of these out and it knows it's open, the robot will go back, get it, and bring it to the guy.
And like 1 hour one this very
so this is the brains of our machines. You can see the 2 machines, the pallet, the 2 load stations, and all the individual pallets. So this is how they'll load the programs. Once the machine's moving, you'll see that block just move up and down. You can see which pallets numbers are inside the machine. So inside of number 2 is pallet 25, 21's in the doghouse. Pallet number 8 is inside machine 1 being machined. pallet 17s on the outside waiting to go in. So that's kind of how they'll run this, is when they check and uncheck these, it tells the machine to go ahead and pick them up or don't, or bring them to their load station.
And that's why I do want to do that.
These are the blue painted parts are our saw cast parts. It's the only thing we really paint before it gets machined. You can see how it kind of comes to us as basically just as this is a gray casted piece. They're molded like that. We paint them and then we machine them on jigs, and this is how they turn out. So that's the reason we paint them before, but otherwise we would have to go back and we have to tape all this stuff off and plug all the holes. And so we started doing that years ago. We just painted them. You can see them all on the different jigs out there, just waiting to go inside the machine. Some of those, we know how many a day we need to make. Some of them it's not. We don't need 100 of them. We only need 1 or 2, so we'll just run it at night. That way it doesn't get in the way of our daily manufacturing plan. Easier when you just run it at night, then you don't have to wait on the machine to bring them back out to you. So my head operator was down helping a guy on a different machine, but this is our Haas horizontal and our Mazak vertical. We don't use this one a heck of a lot. We make a couple certain parts on it. This one, a lot of what we do is for, instead of sending parts up to the big machines, these might be something that has to be rolled 3 different times. So if we have to put holes in the top, then we can roll it into the next vise, put holes in the bottom, roll it into the next vise, put holes on the side. Where if we had it up there, we would have to send it into the machine, come all the way back out, rotate it down, send it all the way back in, send it back out. That's kind of what we use this one for a lot of the time. And this one makes smaller runs of things. We don't make 100 really of anything at a time. So this one might be a 5 parts at a time type of deal. And it's just much easier to set it up and run it on this than it is the big machine.
That's it for part 1 of the Scotchman Industries plant tour. Join us next time on Industry Insights when we'll bring you the conclusion of our plant tour in Phillip, South Dakota.